Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today I'm with a very special guest. He's on his first ever American U.S. tour. He's all the way from Australia. In the past year, he won a ton of awards with his debut album, and he's honestly he's a breath of fresh air in the music industry right now. He's been on Anthony Fantano's YouTube channel. He recently got highlighted on Stephen Colbert. And now he's about to be highlighted on the NAST podcast. It's my pleasure to introduce Genesis Owusu.
Yo, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here. So I was, dude, you have a Wikipedia page now. You're 23, right?
Yeah, I'm 23.
That's fucking nuts. So I'm 21, so we're roughly around the same age. So
sick.
I was checking out your Wikipedia page, and they were saying that you were in like elementary school or something. You got the nickname Genesis, but your name's Kofi?
Yeah, my name is, so I'm from Ghana, and we pronounce it like Kofi with like the accent. But then when I came to Australia, they didn't do that. So it just like turned into coffee, like the drink.
Yeah.
And like I have an older brother of 5 years, and his friends were like, what's your little brother's name? And he was saying coffee just because that's how they were saying it around. And they were like, no way his name's Coffee. Like, no, there's no way his name could be Coffee. And apparently they just kept badgering him like that. And the first name that came to his head was Genesis for some reason. I have no idea why.
Maybe Sega.
Yeah. And that kind of stuck.
Damn.
And, Genesis Owusu.
So he just came home one day and started calling you Genesis also? How did that work?
He didn't, but like, I guess all of his friends were finally like, the truth.
Oh.
So his name is Genesis, you know?
Do you know about the artist named Coffee though? Or Kofi?
Yeah, I do.
Damn.
They're sick.
Yeah.
They're sick.
So how old were you when you moved to Australia?
I was 2.5. So okay. I was very young.
So you basically were born and raised in Australia then?
Yeah. We've been back to Ghana a few times. But yeah, definitely raised in Canberra, Australia.
And why'd your family move to Australia?
Just to give me and my brother like a wider scope of opportunity, especially in regards to like education and stuff like that.
Right.
And my dad's sister already lived in Canberra, the city we moved to, so that just made things a bit easier.
Yeah, there we go. So with that, isn't Australia, is it even considered like a music hub at all?
I mean, I probably wouldn't say so. I think Australia's biggest like vibe for the last like few decades has been like rock and like surf rock, punk, like that kind of area of music. So
yeah,
for hip hop, like no sir, definitely not.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been a journey in itself.
Yeah, I was looking, I don't know how real these numbers are, but I was looking online and it was something like there's only like 400,000 Africans in Australia. It's like a super small population.
Yeah, no, it's like it's a very white place.
Yeah, that's
extremely white.
That's why you got that surf genre, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So how?
I started making music here, and no one knew what the fuck was going on.
That's craziness. But you briefly touched on in other interviews, but your brother is also a hip hop artist.
Yeah. So I only started making music because he just put the pressure on. Like he's 5 years older than me. I'm pretty sure he started making music like 5 years before me, maybe a little earlier. I think he started rapping 5 years before me and he started making music even prior to that. And he'd like hijacked our family's study, like our computer room, and turned it into his little personal studio. So it was like literally inescapable. So yeah, it had to happen at some point.
But with your family moving from Ghana and them trying to give you a better life and childhood, were they kind of? I feel like when families immigrate somewhere else, they expect their kids to be like a doctor or something, where they kind of like,
Mm.
what the fuck are you doing trying to be a hip hop artist?
Yeah, no, that was definitely a thing. That was definitely a thing. But younger brother privileges, thank God.
Yeah.
Um, I think it was like the first time my brother got played on like the radio or something. That like it was something like that. Or the first time he was on like Australian TV. I think that's when my parents are like, yeah, okay, sure. Like I can see now you can make a career off this, you can make money off this. They were still like pretty keen on me to at least get like a fallback. Like so I went to university, studied journalism. But yeah, I think after seeing that like doorway open, they kind of understood it a bit more.
Do you use your journalism degree for anything?
No, not really. Just to know when other journalists are playing with me.
Hey, there we
I
go.
know what a good interview is.
You could basically start your own podcast at that point. You have a leg up on everyone.
Yeah, pretty much. It's on the cards, man. It's on the cards.
So, did do you like understand the steps your brother took to get on Australian TV and radio if hip hop wasn't even really a thing?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Um, he he is like right now he focuses on being like an audio engineer and
Nice.
like produces for other people and stuff like that. And he still makes his own music from time to time, but very much on his own terms. But like when he was like doing it, he was definitely like honestly like a godfather in Australian hip hop and like Canberra hip hop. He kind of paved the way,
Wow.
not only for me, but for a bunch of other hip hop artists around where I am. Um, yeah, I genuinely would not be here doing this or talking to you even if it wasn't for like the steps he paved.
Yeah. I just think of like crocodiles and shit when I think of Australia, not hip hop. But so here we are.
Riding kangaroos and all that.
Yeah, riding kangaroos. And your brother's name is it's Citizen K, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to him.
Mhm.
So, how old are you when you released your when you released your first project?
So I think my first project was with him.
Okay.
Um, and it was we called ourselves the Answer Brothers because my last name is Owusu Answer. Um, and I think that was when I would have been like 15.
Wow.
And when I was 15, I had this big beard. So I
Really?
was getting into all like the like little pubs and like dive bars around Canberra to like rap uh at like 11 p.m. on a school night. And I thought I was living like this little double life. And I had this massive beard and I'd never get ID'd. And my brother was like 20 and he'd get ID'd right after me. And
Holy
I
shit.
go and live this double life rapping in these little like pubs and then going to school the next day just like super tired.
So you could have like a huge beard right now if you wanted, like a Nipsey Hussle or Rick
Yeah.
Ross type thing.
I actually only shaved it like maybe like 6 months ago. And before that I hadn't shaved it like completely for like 7 years prior.
Oh shit. I thought
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna be like doing the a lot of people grew out their beards during the pandemic, the pandemic facial
I
hair.
went the complete opposite. I'm like,
Dang.
damn, I need to make a change,
Yeah.
get my shit together.
So with that, it seems like just from how you're talking about your brother so far, it seems like he's been pretty supportive. Was there any like I don't, for lack of a better word, was there any like jealousy that you got onto this huge platform and he's still kind of seen as up and coming?
No, he's like he's just that guy. He's just 100% supportive. Um, he's I don't honestly don't know how to describe it, but if you knew him, you know what I'm talking about. Like he's just kind of that guy. He just wants to push things forward, even if it's not with him, which kind of is exactly the role he's doing because he had all the opportunities to do what I'm doing right now, and he chose not to.
Wow.
And now he prefers to be in the background, like producing and just being there for other artists, mixing at like he's built his own studio strictly for that purpose. And he started by like giving like dirt cheap sessions to like artists around the city who couldn't afford it, just because he really just wanted to push things forward for everyone. So yeah, no, he's just that guy. No jealousy there.
Sounds like we should have him on the podcast to help
Yeah,
spotlight him.
get him on.
That's dope. So with that, you were talking about you went to like bars and stuff to rap. Does that mean you were part of what is the name of your city you grew up? You said Canberra or something.
Canberra.
Canberra. So
Yeah.
with that, were you like actively like part of that music scene there? And if you
Yeah, I'd say so.
were you kind of like a black sheep? No pun intended there.
I think this like the scene there was super like it was very small and foundational at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I think I was already figuring out like who I was as a musician. And I think over there that's respected a lot faster than it is in a lot of other places.
Right.
Like I feel like in a lot of the bigger cities like Sydney and Melbourne, when it comes to Australia and the music scene over there, when I went over there, it was very easy to see like trends and like people fall into like movements and stuff like that, which was cool. Like it had its own ups and downs. But since Canberra, like people don't even know like what Canberra is, since it was so small, the kind of individualism and like the fact that someone was bringing their own uniqueness to the fold, I think that was what was really respected.
Right.
So like I was coming in at 15 and people were just like very happy to have me and super supportive, and they have been to this day.
So you've really helped put your city on the map then, it seems like.
Yeah, trying my best, man. Trying my
Damn.
best.
Hell yeah. So how far is Canberra? I'm just gonna fucking butcher it all.
Canberra.
How far away is that from like Sydney and the bigger cities in Australia?
So Canberra, Canbear. It's like Canberra, but everyone
Canberra.
says Canberra. It's a 3-hour drive from Sydney.
Oh shit. So you're like, okay, is it like a small city then, or is it a small town? Like, how would you describe
It's
describe
like
it?
Canberra literally was built because Sydney and Melbourne were like about to go to goddamn war about who was going to be the capital city.
Yeah.
And Canberra was just like these farmlands in between. So the government's just like, fuck it. Like, we're just going to build a little town here and this is going to be the capital. So you guys can like just shut up. So that's how it happened. And Canberra has like 400,000 people or 500,000 people in it or something like that.
So how many black people are specifically in your city?
I could probably count them on my 2 hands, to be honest. Well, I could. I could growing up. There's been more like since I've like grown up. But growing up, all I could see was like me and my brother, honestly.
Shit.
Like we went to a school of like 2,000 people, and Kojo, my brother, was 5 years older than me, so he went to high school first.
Yeah.
His high school had 2,000 people. He was the only black kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be a black guy and Ghanaian and have an Australian accent?
It's like it's being part of the diaspora feels like being like in a culture of itself. You know, it's like I get the fusion of I get the essence of both sides, but it's it's like being caught in limbo almost.
Yeah.
When I'm in Australia, they're like, "Where are you from?" And then when I'm in
Oh.
Ghana, they're like, "Where are you from?" But it's like at the same time, yeah, it has its ups and downs, but I do call both places home. But yeah, being part of the diaspora is definitely like a culture in itself.
Yeah, that sounds. It's like when people are so excited to hear like a British accent or just any type of foreign accent. So you probably get some people are probably excited to hear you talk. But
Yeah. People think like I'm out here making mad money when I come to Ghana with the Australian accent. They're like, damn, ATMs everywhere over there.
damn.
That's like a big thing in Ghana. Like, oh, it was ages ago. They're like, you go to a Western country, they have money coming out the walls, baby.
Yeah. So you have a manager now and like a full team. Did you get that before? So your debut project's called Smiling with No Teeth, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So did you have a full team before that project, or how did a team start aligning for you?
So the team started aligning when I met my manager. And we officially started working together in 2017. That's when we started like an official, business contract, but we started working together a year prior because his wife found me on Instagram, and I was still in high school at the time.
Yeah.
And I was just like making stuff with my friends, and like we're making clothes and just making music and taking cool photos and stuff. And he commented, he's like, what's your email address? And I sent him my email address, but at the time I was just so awful at checking emails. Like I had no interest in emails. Like I didn't realize that was like, because I was still in high school. I had no idea that was like the businessman's form of contact. I thought email was like archaic. I was like, who still uses email? So I missed a lot of his emails. And then that same year, I got to do the opening slot at this like major national festival called Groove in the Mood, and it was sold out. It was like I was the 11 a.m. slot, the slot that no one goes to, and I was just about to go on stage, and this is a sold out festival. I turn around to go on stage, and him and his whole family are there with VIP backstage passes, and he puts his hand out. He's like, "Hey, I'm Andrew. I'm the guy that's been emailing you." And I'm like, "Oh, damn! Like, this is serious. Like, you really want to talk?" He's like, "Yeah." So I do my 30-minute set. He comes and watches only me, and then drives his whole family back to Sydney. That 3-hour drive, like just to see me at 11 a.m. And I was like, "Okay, this guy's serious."
Wow.
And then we just developed from there. We developed a cool relationship. A year later, we started official business partnership together. I have full creative control. We make sure the contract's all straight. And basically from 2017 up until 2019 or 2020, when we start making the album, the team is like me, him, and maybe like 5 other people.
Right.
We're just doing everything, kind of grinding. But then the album's coming out, and COVID is still a huge thing, so we can't tour. So we have to put much more emphasis into like international marketing and stuff like that. So that's when we started building a bigger team around us. And that's basically the story. Now we've got like a pretty solid team, still building it. But for the first few years, it was like me and like 5 other people just kind of doing it.
And did you release this independently then, or was it?
Did you get any deal? An independent label. So I have his name is Andrew Klippel, and he owns the independent label called Owusu. And we did like we're in a business partnership.
Right.
And this is an independent release.
Hell yeah, that's super dope. So, for me, I live in Seattle, and I'm part of the Seattle music scene. And it's hard enough being in a city that isn't really known for music, except you think of like maybe like Nirvana or Sir Mix-a-Lot or Macklemore, but you don't really think of Seattle as like a huge music hub. So I'm taking that into consideration, and then I think of a whole fucking country, Australia, that definitely isn't considered. It's a country, right? I'm so bad. It's not a fucking okay.
It's a country.
So with that, I'm thinking of a city, and then you're in a fucking country that isn't known for music. How
Mhm.
how did you how were you able to make it such a successful project? Is it just from having like a good marketing plan and a good budget, or how? Are there any steps that you could recommend to other people in other cities or other countries? Or
Well, yeah, I will say immediately, like the internet has been like the great leveler of everything.
Mhm.
It's like it's kind of uh done its part to somewhat extinguish like geographical borders in regards to like discovering people and stuff like that.
Right.
Um, but it was this wild mix of like luck, um, kind of ingenuity, just believing in the vision, um, lots of grinding, and putting in our own money at like every step, huge like personal investments. Um, yeah, it was really weird. Especially like trying to make the music that I'm making anywhere feels like it would be kind of a challenge to get somewhere with it. But like, let alone in Australia,
Right.
like I feel like the type of music I've made I've never seen it be validated there
Mm-hmm.
on like any super significant level. So going into this, doing that, we just had to trust that this was the right thing to do, even if it never made it in Australia. Like we'll just get out, we'll just go somewhere else and do it there and see what works. And like I said, I started my business deal in 2017, and we've just been grinding. But I was sorry, I was at those
No worries.
pubs at age 14
Yeah.
in 2014, 2015. So I've been doing this for a little while now. And I don't know, it's really just been grinding, believing in the vision.
That's about 10
Um,
years. That's fucking nuts.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I don't really know what advice I have for people. Like definitely get a strong team,
Yeah.
and a team that believes in the vision. Um, like me and my manager, we're still on the point where we haven't seen much profit from this. We're still totally in just like investment mode and just putting everything straight back into the project just because we believe in it and we believe that this is going to go somewhere. And yeah, my manager came to me because he saw the vision too and just believed in it. Everyone on the team came out of passion, um, and yeah, really thinks this is going to go somewhere. So I'm so blessed to have a team that just believes in me and believes in the music, and that's a huge asset too.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So with that, have you since creating music, have you ever had like a job, or have you focused solely on music, or what's that been like for you?
I had a job. I had a job for about 2 months in year 12, I would say, flipping burgers. Um, and I was just like, yeah, this isn't for me. This isn't for me. And I just kept going with music, kind of full time.
Dang.
I was like, we have this national broadcaster called Triple J.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I had like got into the finals, I guess, for this unearthed high competition where they listen to all the high school kids' music and then like pick the best ones and play it all over the national radio.
Mm-hmm.
And I got picked for that, which opened the doors for me, at least in Australia, quite early. So I felt like I had somewhere to go straight after high school. So I kind of just pursued that straight away, and I kind of just gave it my all from the jump.
So you were able to like hit milestones that made you feel like you're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly,
Got it.
exactly.
Yeah, for people who don't know, Triple J is kind of similar to like KEXP here in Seattle, or like an NPR type deal,
Yeah.
like the Tiny Desks type stuff. Yeah, that's really dope. So yeah, man, you're on your first ever tour. Is this your first tour ever, or just in
First tour in the
in the
US.
U.S.?
Yeah.
How
I'm
did?
a seasoned tourer.
Hell
I,
yeah.
I've been doing this. But yeah, first tour in the US, which is like it's
how does that
crazy.
feel? Is it nerve-wracking? Are you excited? Or
Everything, all of the above. Like it's insane that I'm here right now. I'm in LA right now, just in the hotel.
sheesh.
Yeah, it's insane that I'm here from Canberra, a place that like no one even knows exists. Just off making like weirdo music. It's been a wild ride. I'm super excited to get it started and just like see what's going on around the country.
Hell yeah. So is this your first time in the U.S. or to besides
I've been to
touring?
LA before to make music, but I've never played any shows before, and
Nice.
only in LA. So yeah, I haven't been around the other all the other ends of the country.
And how long is the flight to L.A. from Australia?
It was like 14 hours, I think.
Holy shit, you must feel jet lagged as fuck.
Yeah, I've been moving around like a zombie, man. Groggy as hell.
Damn. So how many tour dates do you have?
I think we have 16 shows, and we're here for
Shit.
about 5 weeks.
You're about to build up hella connections here then, huh?
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's dope. So besides, of course, the tour part, is there anything specifically you're excited about? Certain people to meet? Are you gonna be in any studios?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just taking everything as it comes. We've lined up a few interviews, obviously, and some performances outside of the tour. But like, I'm just keen to meet people in general, not even like music people, just like see America, just like get the culture of all these like and all the little subcultures from the different states and stuff like that. I'm just keen to live some new life for the first time in the last like 2 years, thanks to COVID.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a blessing to be here.
What are
I'm just
your
keen to experience it all.
like your first impressions so far of being in LA?
It's been really quiet, actually.
Really?
It's been really quiet. I'm out here in Burbank right now. Um, I kind of expected it to be like super hectic,
Yeah.
like very crazy, but it's been pretty quiet actually. So I'm keen to get around and see what the vibe really is.
Hell yeah. Are you big into oh yeah, you have a fucking fashion. Let's talk about your fashion line real quick.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
it's called is it just Pur? It's Pur. Is it pronounced Pur or how do you pronounce it?
So we were pronouncing it like pure.
Pure. Okay.
Um, and that's how me and my friends met. I have this group of people that I call the goons who come on stage with me and like the I feel like the live show is like some sort of like quasi theater play,
Yeah.
and in that aspect there would be like hype men slash dancer slash backing vocalist slash actor.
Yeah.
The goons, so we just call
Yes.
them the goons to make it easier for everyone. um and we all met just because we wanted to make clothes, and we just started making them together. But we were all also doing other creative mediums. So I was making music. We had like a DJ and a producer. We had a photographer, et cetera, et cetera. So when we were making the clothes, you know, at the other point, my photographer would need a model for his photos, and I would need beats for my music. And we all just kind of helped each other in our own little facets as we were doing the music, as we were doing the fashion.
Hmm.
And as we were doing all that, the Genesis Owusu project kind of started building and building, and we all turned our focuses to that. So we, instead of like trying to create clothes for the public, we just started making like the tour uniforms and stuff like that.
Wow.
And everyone focused like all their attention into the Genesis Owusu project. And yeah, that's why they're still with me to this day. Like we started that in like 2014.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and now they're still here with me to this day. I get to bring all my friends around the world with me. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, you're probably gonna get some inspiration from LA for sure. There's a lot of streetwear fashion's huge in that
Yeah,
city.
yeah, for sure.
So do you have specific city you're more excited to visit more than others besides LA, like to tour?
Man, I'm just keen to get around, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
I'm just keen to see it all, and experience it all. Um, yeah, just the fact that I've already said it, but just the fact that I'm here
Yeah.
in the country from Canberra. Like if you're from Canberra or anywhere like Canberra where you say the name of the place, and what did you say? Like Canopia or something?
I don't fucking know.
If you're somewhere and they like get that reaction from where you're from, and then you get to be in LA and all these other crazy places from your like weirdo music,
Yeah.
like that's the prize in itself.
In Seattle, like for sure, not everyone says it because it sounds a little fucking corny, but it's like some people call Seattle Sea-Town, SEA town. So maybe we should just call your fucking city Sea-Town as well.
Yeah, okay, we got that connection.
There we go.
Sound connection.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for you to come see it. I almost said come see LA. Come see Seattle. You're gonna be here in a couple of weeks. Do you know where you're performing in Seattle?
Numos. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah, Numos. That's a dope place to perform.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Wait, so do you have for your tour, do you have people that you brought on tour with you to open, or how is that working for you?
We've got different supporting acts around the country.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have to look into who's coming to Seattle with you.
Yeah, me too, actually. I definitely know, but I can't remember like who is where.
That's super exciting though. Well,
yeah,
excited to hopefully meet you in person in Seattle. Congrats on all your success and your continued success. And I end the podcast usually by asking if you have any final advice or words for the audience and fans.
Stay true to yourself. Obviously, very very cliche. I think especially to artists or anyone that's like just trying to strive for something slightly out of the norm, my actual piece of advice outside of the cliches is always to know what your definition of success is, and stick to that. If you're making music because you want to have fun and you like end up with a Grammy, but you're not having fun anymore, maybe that's not really success.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to have the Grammy from the jump and you got the Grammy, congratulations to you. And it goes into staying true to yourself, just not letting other people's perceptions of success warp your own. Because especially if you're in the arts, it's usually something you're doing to fulfill, yourself internally. So yeah, just know what your perceptions of success are. Stay true to them, stay true to yourself, and hopefully you'll prosper.
For sure. And what is the easiest way for people to reach you?
Probably like my Instagram at Genesis Owusu, or other Twitters, all at Genesis Owusu.
Hell yeah. And are there any songs you're going to be dropping on tour? Anything else you want to promote besides just this fucking dope ass tour?
I mean, I've got songs in the vault, but like we might just drop them spur of the moment. That's the pros of being independent. But yeah, we'll all have to wait and see. We're all on the roller coaster together.
Hell yeah. Well, this has been the NAST podcast with
Genesis Owusu.
And we did it.